That's a little high, but I suppose it's normal. Nursing home dietary at 69. Nursing department at 69% questions. Plant operations at 61%. Laundry department at 58%. Any questions? Housekeeping department at 70%. Physicians in pharmacy at 60%. Physical therapy at 86. That's a little high, but we're okay on that, probably.
Because the revenue is not yet.
Yeah, I don't know what the revenues are yet. Okay. Recreational therapy, we're at 61. Social services, we are at 72%. Special services, we are at 86%. And overall for the enterprise fund, we're at 71%. And overall for the grand total between the general fund and enterprise, we're at 73%. Any questions? Okay, let's go over to the revenues. The general fund, for the county general, we're at 75%. The sheriff's income is at 74%.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
county miscellaneous income, what is that?
County miscellaneous income,
Yeah.
we received $23,759 from UNH Cooperative Extension. That's where it went. If you desire to put that into capital reserve, then you can make the motion to do that.
Well, it came from, what, further question?
Left
Tell me,
over.
David, tell me where you're looking at. I see miscellaneous human services, but not just miscellaneous.
24.
Oh, there it is,
24.
on account number 24. That's the third. Let's see. Yes, go ahead. David, ask another.
It's 8 times what it was. What does that have to do with a cooperative extension?
We got left over at the end of the year.
They gave us a check.
Oh, that's the
23,000.
the 33,000 we gave
The
back to you.
23,000,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
fine.
23,000. I don't know what the
Excuse
other
me.
one.
That's right, thank you.
Does everybody understand what that was about?
No.
The fact is that when cooperative extension does not spend all of its money that we appropriated, they send the sum back to the
Balance.
county. We usually put it into that building fund for the extension, which is, remember, we took money out of that to do a feasibility on what to do with the old nursing home. That's where that money from the building fund for extension comes from. Yes,
And can I
Norma?
also explain that that was left over because we had 2 employees leave unexpectedly, and we could not rehire through the UNH system until a closeout process had gone on. So it took us 6 months for one, and I think we used temporary employees for the other one for about 5 or 6 months also.
Yeah. But that's where that comes from when extension gives us back. Okay. Sheriff's income at 74%. Any questions? Registry of Deeds at 73%. Jail and House of Correction at we're making money, 119%. That's good. Well, I'm not going to ask. Farm income. We are at 81%. That's good. Maintenance income at 94%. That's doing good too. Interest income, we're at 58%. Other revenues from everything is at 75%. And the general fund overall is at 75%. Any questions? Just yell out if I'm not seeing you. We'll go to the enterprise fund now for the nursing home income. We're at 88%. And overall, we're at 88%. And for the grand total between General fund and enterprise are at 79%. So we're doing pretty good. Representative Babson.
Yeah, I'm just going back to I was looking at special details in the sheriff's department.
That will
Revenue,
be on page 1.
page 1, revenue is up 143%. We've, if I read that correctly, we're $14,000 we've collected. And yet, over here on, unless I'm doing something wrong, on special details, 03 on page 5, we have only paid out, I guess I am doing it wrong.
Expenditures.
We've paid out about 14,000, if I'm reading it correctly, $14,160, is that correct?
What Representative Babson is doing is comparing the expenditures on page 5 under account number 003 to the revenue under special details, which is 018.
I guess I need an explanation, Madam Chairman, if I'm reading it correctly. Where is this money we're supposed to be making on special details?
There is no.
Yeah, there is.
no money.
We give it to the deputies.
Okay.
We're supposed to be getting a certain percentage of that detail as revenue for our
Yeah.
automobile and pension and everything else.
That's all part of the cost.
Okay, but then why are
Wait a
they
minute,
equal?
Commissioner Sorensen?
If you look at the expenses, it's 14,160, and the revenue is 14,332, so we made some money.
No.
No?
We spent 160, and we brought in
No, we,
Wrote in 14,332.
14,300.
so we've made, for all of those hours, we've made $200. I wouldn't say we're making the money that we're supposed to be making,
Okay.
unless I'm doing
Go
something
ahead,
wrong.
Representative Umberger.
Yes, when we budget for this, when we do the budget, we put over in the expenses the amount that we anticipate spending.
Right.
And we put into the revenue the amount we anticipate receiving. And normally, those two numbers are relatively the same. Because I think that when they say that this detail should include the cost of their salary, their benefits, and the car. If in fact they use a car, which in most cases they do. So that line, in town budget, you can make a decision to pull that money out so it doesn't always look squirrely in your budget. But the county doesn't have that same option to create another fund that just handles the special details. But that's the normal way, and that's how we budgeted this year for it, for special details.
I think what Representative Babson might be saying is that it doesn't seem that the amount of money we're bringing in is a little bit high enough for us to be able to cover a little bit more than 200 over 9 months. Representative.
But it's already in the figure that we're charging for the time. That's how we got the 14.3, is because we put all of that money into the charge that we're charging whoever is paying for the special detail.
Representative Babson and then Nero.
I guess you've got me confused, Representative Umberger, because we've heard Sheriff Carr many times tell us he's raised the rates to $35 or $40, and he's only paying out a total of $30. So,
I have no idea what
so
card-
if we're taking in, for simplicity's sake, $1,000, and that's supposed to cover our expenses, and we're paying out $2,000, or, excuse me, reverse that, we take in 2,000 and we're paying out 1,000, then we're making $1,000 worth of profit on those details. We do the same thing in these numbers, and it just doesn't make sense that it's only difference is $200 over 9 months. Where's the, if it's built in, where's the rest of the money going?
Okay, Representative Merrill.
I have no idea what Sheriff Carr did, okay? But when we discussed this with,
Sheriff Connors.
yeah, brain fart. With Sheriff Conley, with Sheriff Conley, it was to be a balanced figure, it wasn't to be a huge moneymaker. And as far as I know, we are balancing that money as to, now if you want us to make money on it, then we'll raise the rates.
Well, we're not supposed to make money, we're supposed to cover our costs, and
Well, I agree.
if our expenses equal our revenues, then we're not covering the costs of our automobiles,
Yes,
because we're paying out what's coming in.
Okay, let's, Representative Merrill.
Yeah, I think I agree with Representative Babson from a town standpoint. I was just trying to think, I don't know if it's $35 an hour or something they pay, and the officer gets so much and the rest of it comes into the town, which does pay a pretty good portion towards that car. So I guess my question from the county would be, is what do they charge per hour, and how much does the officer get of that, and what the balance, I assume, goes to the county? But do you know what the hourly charge is?
I don't know what the hourly charge is, but Representative Babson, I think, is correct that we charge a going rate, and that rate covers the cost of the individual doing the job, plus the vehicle, gas, and it's built in there enough so this covers all our expenses, and we should be making a little bit of money. How much, I'd have to go back and look
Okay,
to
I
find
think
out
that-
what they charge and what it costs us.
Yeah, and what I'd like to do for the subcommittee that's doing that, for as we go through the next budget cycle, bring the numbers to us and show us that, and if we think we ought to be making more than $200 in 9 months, even though we're covering that $200 in 9 months, just goes into the general fund, right? All the cars and everything and gas, you say are covered. I'd like to see how that works. Okay, all right? All right, now, so, let's see. I thought did we get through? I thought I got
We did.
through. I got through to 79. Is any other questions on any of the other pages? Okay, so that is our quarterly report. I need to know if there is any public input. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I'll preface this with, I think overall not making a vote on what to do with the nursing home was a good idea. But I have a real problem with how it happened. What you had told me, Madam Chairman, was that 3 people that aren't here requested that you didn't have a vote.
No.
Okay, so how did you come to the decision that there'd be no vote made before the representatives had a chance to talk about whether they wanted to vote or not today?
I told them that I would not call for a vote. I have done that in the past, and there
Okay.
has never been a question. However, I have been told not to do that again, and I will not do it again, and so that's it. I did not want to reschedule this meeting because there were just 4 that were not able to come. And I said, I'm not going to change it, but I will not call for a vote. I will not do that
Well,
again.
thank you very much.
Sometimes out of courtesy, I do things, but I will not do that again. Okay, are there any further? Yes, Steve.
Yes, at $230,000, to tear down 2 wings, I would, hope that the delegation would, strongly not even consider spending $461,200 to tear down the 4 wings. That's number 1. And number 2, the estimated cost of $300,000 to hook up the pellet boiler. You know, this pellet boiler is now, it's costing us $700,000 for a pellet boiler. You know, people say we're getting $400,000 of free